Getaways have been thrown into absolute chaos with the arrival of Storm Pia.
Yes, more delays are expected today after all lines to and from London Euston were blocked earlier, while Eurostar and Eurotunnel services were cancelled by a last-minute walkout in France.
And today is already set to be the busiest day on the roads.
Well, let's cross live now to Jack Carson, who's at Birmingham New Street Station for us this morning. And how's it looking there for you this morning, Jack? It does look quiet, but it does look very, very cold.
There's certainly been quite a few people already with suitcases going in, probably trying to catch those early trains before the big rush comes later today. We are expecting the busiest times of travel, both on the roads and on the rail networks, around lunchtime today. So that's people really already trying to get ahead of the curve, and it's probably quite sensible too, because of course we saw the impacts of Storm Pia yesterday across the country with branches and trees going across railway lines, causing cancellations and delays there, particularly in Scotland. Yellow weather warnings still are in place from the Met Office in parts of Scotland, so that could still cause problems on the rail and road networks there. And of course branches and trees falling into roads also causing problems. But here at Birmingham New Street, so far today, so good. Trains starting to run on time, but of course the problems that Storm Pia caused at Euston Station, with problems with the overhead lines there, will have a big part to play in whether, of course, the West Coast Main Line, which runs here from Birmingham down to London Euston, will be able to run smoothly today. There was lots of cancellations out London Euston, which caused a complete blockage of that, and there'll be people trying to go in both directions to get home to their respective homes for Christmas. Now, for King's Cross and St Pancras, we saw the problems with the Eurostar, with the industrial action there. They are putting on extra trains per hour today to try and clear that backlog, because of course you've got that congestion of people from yesterday that have had their travel updated for today, and the people that were already planned to be going home today as well. Airports might have a problem with Storm Pia, particularly still up north. We saw problems at Birmingham Airport and also at Sheffield, Doncaster Sheffield Airport as well. Already today, the Met Office reporting that wind speeds of up to 79 miles an hour in parts of West Yorkshire, so still battering the country is Storm Pia. And already with the congestion on the roads, that's going to be one of the big problems for people getting home today. We expect 13.5 million people, according to the RAC, to be travelling home just today. That's around 60% of all the travel that they expect to be going on now before Christmas, and that's already causing problems down at the port of Dover as well. The Eurotunnel and the back end of that industrial action yesterday, meaning there are queues of already over a mile long. That was before 5 a.m. this morning. People say that they've already missed their ferries, and the port of Dover urging people that only drivers and their passengers with advance bookings will be able to travel today.
Well, Jack Carson, thank you very much for that update there at Birmingham New Street Station. Go get yourself a nice hot cup of tea now, warm up. I don't like seeing him looking so cold.
He's got his beanie hat on.
I know, great hat. Very good.
I can't get over the shot of that plane trying to land at Birmingham Airport.
Yeah, let's see if we can watch that again, shall we?
Can you imagine being on this plane? I mean, well done to the pilots, because they did eventually make it, but look at the struggle they're having. I mean, look, it looks as though they're actually hovering in midair, just trying to read the wind right, aren't they?
That makes my tummy go funny.
Can you imagine being on it?
No, you can't.
And then they obviously abort it and decide to go up again.
Oh.
And can you, again, if you're on board, you're thinking, what the heck is going on?
And then do they try and land it again?
Yeah,
do they eventually land?
Yes, they do. And it lands very well. It's coming in now again to land. And you'll see how they're still struggling, but they eventually make it.
Well, bravo to those brave pilots.
I just wonder, in that sort of circumstance, the pilots must be concentrating so much on trying to get it right. Does anyone go in on the tannoy to say, don't worry, we're trying, you know, all the rest of it?
It's always difficult when that happens. I was on a flight recently and it was really bad turbulence, and I think it was exactly that, where they were so focused on getting us through it.
Yeah.
Nobody was saying that it was all OK, and we were trying to read their facial expressions like, is everything OK?
If you were on that plane, get in touch, tell us what it was like. Or if you've ever had a similar experience. Thank goodness pilots were as experienced and talented as they were, and they got it down in the end. Yeah, and even when it landed on the runway, it was sort of because they obviously still incredibly windy.
The crosswinds were bad, weren't they? Yes, do get in touch on that story or any of the stories that we're talking about this morning. gbnews@gbnews.com.
16 minutes past 7. If you've just joined us, here's a reminder of our top stories this morning.
Yes, a gunman has killed 15 people and wounded at least 24 others at a Prague university yesterday, where the killer himself was a student. The Czech Republic has declared tomorrow a national day of mourning.
And the nightmare before Christmas, as we've been